Assalamualaikum warahmatullah and a very good day to everyone. My name is Nurul Izzah Izzati binti Muhammad Yusuf, index number 20240824400206 from option TESL intake 2023 and 2028. So today I will be presenting a case study report for the course TSLB 3292 Children and Languages. And now, here is the overview of my presentation today. For the first part, I will be explaining about the introduction of my case study report. And then after that, we will move on to the task description of this case study. And then I will be explaining about the impact on bilingualism and multilingualism in primary ESL classroom. After that, I will be explaining about the benefits and challenges that I have stated in my case study. Then I will go to the conclusions, and last but not least, I will be explaining a little bit about the recommendations for the challenges in this study report. This is the first part of my presentation today, which is introduction. So I would like to clarify my purpose in writing this report first, okay? So this report actually aims to examine how tasks from three ESL related courses, which are TSLB 3493 Songs and Poems in the Primary ESL Classroom. The second one, TSLB 3303 Theory and Practice in Primary English Language Teaching 1. And then the last one is TSLB 3282 English Language Skills 2. Play a pivotal role in promoting bilingualism and multilingualism within the Malaysian context. By analyzing the teaching methods and classroom activities introduced in these three courses, this study highlights their potential to improve students' English skills while honoring Malaysia's rich linguistic diversity. So, what is bilingualism and multilingualism? Bilingualism and multilingualism are fundamental to Malaysia's cultural and educational framework. Bilingualism is a product of extensive contact between people speaking different languages, whereas multilingualism is to referred to as the ability of a speaker to express himself or herself in several languages with equal and native like proficiency. The multilingual landscape found in Malaysian primary schools is deeply embedded in the nation's history and educational policies, creating an inclusive atmosphere for language learning. Students frequently encounter multiple languages at once, which can create both exciting opportunities and notable changes in the classroom. As I mentioned earlier, there are three courses that I have mentioned in this case study report. So for the first part, I will be explaining about the course TSLB 3493 Songs and Poems in the Primary ESL Classroom. So, for this course, TSLB 3493 Songs and Poems in the Primary ESA Classroom highlights the creative ways that songs, rhymes, and also poems can be used as powerful tools for learning a new language. These methods aim to enhance listening skills, boost pronunciation, and develop a love for rhythm in language learning. By incorporating these fun and engaging elements into their lessons, teachers can provide primary ESL classroom students with meaningful and enjoyable content, which ultimately sparks enthusiasm and motivation throughout their learning journey in the school. For the next part, I will be explaining about the impact on bilingualism and multilingualism in primary ESL classrooms for this course. So, what is the impact on language learning for this course? So, one significant impact of using songs and poems in language learning is that they connect with learners on an emotional and cultural level. This kind of content often brings out feelings and also images that resonate with students' own lives, helping them bond with the language on a deeper level. These tools also encourage students to switch between languages and express their culture. For instance, learners can relate English lyrics to familiar structures in their native languages, which not only aids in understanding but also highlights connections between different languages. Therefore, this method helps in boosting intercultural competence, allowing students to explore and express various cultural identities in the ESL classroom. And now, I will be explaining about the benefits and challenges for this course. Obviously, there will be certain obstacles associated with this method. While using songs and poems can be really engaging and inclusive, they often don't directly tackle formal grammar instruction, which is super important for mastery accuracy in language. Some students might find it hard to understand the complexities of grammar without clear support. Because of this, teachers need to strike a balance between the creative elements of songs and also providing targeted help to meet students' specific language needs. And now we will move on to the second course, which is TSLB 3303 Theory and Practice in Primary English Language Teaching 1. So here is the task description for this course. The course TSLB 3303 Theory and Practice in Primary English Language Teaching 1 is all about creating thematic lesson plans that connect real life situations and local culture. This approach aims to create meaningful and engaging learning experiences for primary English language learners by connecting language learning with familiar cultural and contextual elements. And now, I will be explaining about the impact on bilingualism and multilingualism in primary ESL classrooms for the course TSLB 3303 Theory and Practice in Primary English Language Teaching 1. And now, uh, what is the impact on language learning for this course? So, language learning can be enhanced by incorporating real life context and local culture into the lesson plans in everyday classroom. It allows students to leverage their first language as a tool to grasp their second language more effectively. So this connection encourages learners to spot the similarities and also the differences between the two languages, which leads to a deeper understanding of those languages. Furthermore, the course also promotes content-based learning through Content and Language Integrated Learning (CLIL). By integrating language learning with subject content, CLIL provides students with immersive and meaningful learning experiences that facilitate communication competence, critical thinking skills, and also intercultural awareness. Therefore, students are motivated to think critically and also articulate their ideas in two different languages by using both the first and also the second languages in their everyday life. And now we will move on to the benefits and also challenges for the course TSLB 3303 Theory and Practice in Primary English Language Teaching 1. So, what are the benefits and also challenges for this course? One of the main benefits of this approach is its emphasis on culturally responsive pedagogy. This means it recognizes and includes the various cultural backgrounds of students, which I think really help in creating an inclusive and relevant learning environment for the students. And as a result, language learning becomes more uh, meaningful and also easier for young ESL learners. On the downside, teachers consume a lot of time to plan thematic lesson for the students. It requires thorough preparation and thoughtful design to ensure that cultural sensitivity and context are taken into account. Moreover, teachers also need to be proficient in both languages to support the language transfer. Therefore, teachers can promote critical thinking in both the first and the second language. So, now we will move on to the third course, which is TSLB 3282 English Language Skills 2. So the task description for this course, TSLB 3282 English Language Skills 2, is thoughtfully designed to enhance students' proficiency in the four fundamental language skills, which are reading, writing, speaking, and also listening. By incorporating innovative and interactive techniques like storytelling and role playing, this course creates a dynamic and engaging learning environment that bridges the gap between theoretical language knowledge and also practical communication in real life situations. Storytelling serves as a powerful pedagogical tool in enabling students to connect their personal experiences with language learning. Through this approach, learners are encouraged to express themselves freely and creatively, weaving their narratives in English while drawing parallels with their native language. This practice not only strengthens their ability to communicate ideas effectively, but also fosters their cognitive and emotional engagement with the content. The storytelling process nurtures imagination, critical thinking, and also cross linguistic connections, making language acquisition both meaningful and also memorable. Role playing, another essential aspect of the course, introduces learners to simulated real world contexts. By assuming different roles and engaging in situational dialogues, students develop their speaking and listening skills in authentic settings. Role playing encourages them to negotiate meaning, adapt their language use, and also respond appropriately to varying scenarios, all while honing their fluency and confidence. This activity also promotes collaborative learning as students interact with their peers, enhancing teamwork and also interpersonal communication. Both storytelling and role playing align with modern language teaching theories, such as communicative language teaching, CLT, and task based language teaching, TBLT. These methods emphasize the importance of using language for authentic communication and completing meaningful tasks. Furthermore, the course adopts translanguaging pedagogy, which encourages students to draw upon their linguistic repertoire, blending elements of the first language and also second language. This approach supports bilingual development, allowing students to navigate and integrate their linguistic skills effectively. Ultimately, the course TSLB 3282 English Language Skills 2 provides an exciting and immersive learning experience that transforms language acquisition into an engaging journey. By using storytelling and also role playing, educators can empower learners to become a more confident communicator who seamlessly connect theory to practice. This course not only strengthens their English language skills but also prepares them to thrive in a multilingual and multicultural world. And now I will be talking about the impact on bilingualism and multilingualism in primary ESA classroom for the course TSLB 3282 English Language Skills 2. So in this course, students are encouraged to navigate meanings in both their first language and also their second language. Um, Storytelling and also role playing are incredibly effective tools that can profoundly impact language learning. By engaging students in interactive and meaningful activities, these techniques create a dynamic and immersive learning environment that bridges the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical communication. Role playing encourages learners to step into various roles, participate in dialogues, and respond to real world scenarios. This activity not only sharpens their speaking and listening skills, but also requires them to navigate meanings in both their first language and also the second language. The act of negotiating meaning, which is figuring out how to express ideas, respond appropriately, and adapt to different linguistic contexts, develops critical communication skills. Through role playing, students are challenged to use language creatively and fluently, which enhances their confidence and also ability to communicate effectively across languages. Furthermore, it promotes collaborative learning as students interact with peers, exchanging ideas and also perspectives. Storytelling complements role playing by linking language learning to personal experiences. When learners share their stories, they draw on their linguistic and cultural backgrounds, connecting new language skills with existing knowledge. This process fosters cross linguistic relationships, enabling students to identify similarities and differences between the first and also the second languages. Storytelling also encourages learners to think critically and imaginatively as they craft narratives that resonate with their experiences and also emotions. So, by using language as a tool for self expression, learners gain a deeper understanding of both languages and develop a stronger connection to the material being taught. The integration of storytelling and role playing goes beyond language skills. It nurtures a holistic approach to learning. These methods create opportunities for students to practice natural language use in authentic contexts, emphasizing fluency over accuracy while fostering engagement and also creativity. Moreover, they align with modern teaching methodologies like communicative language teaching (CLT) and task-based language teaching (TBLT), which prioritize meaningful communication and the completion of purposeful tasks. Importantly, these techniques support translanguaging practices, allowing learners to fluidly use their linguistic repertoire. For example, students can draw from the first language to construct meaning while gaining fluency in their second language. Translanguaging not only enhances comprehension but also validates the use of the first language, ensuring that language learning does not come at the expense of students' cultural and linguistic heritage. So, overall, storytelling and role playing are powerful tools that make language learning engaging, relevant, and also impactful at the same time. They equip learners with the skills to communicate effectively in multilingual settings, boost their confidence, and cultivate their creativity. By using these methods, educators can transform the language learning experience, preparing students for real world communication challenges in a multicultural and multilingual world. And now, here are the benefits and also challenges for this course. So, one of the most prominent strengths of this approach lies in its focus on using natural language and fostering fluency. Storytelling and role playing allow students to engage in activities that mirror real life conversations, encouraging them to use language in ways that feel authentic and spontaneous. Unlike traditional classroom exercises, which often focus on accuracy and rigid grammatical rules, these methods prioritize the natural flow of language. This not only builds fluency but also helps students to feel more confident in their ability to communicate effectively in various contexts. By participating in storytelling and role playing, students practice the kind of language they are likely to encounter and use outside of the classroom, making their learning experience practical and also relatable. Storytelling, in particular, allows students to draw on their personal experiences, connecting their linguistic and cultural backgrounds to the process of learning a second language. This creates a bridge between their first language and second language, promoting cross linguistic understanding and also enhancing overall comprehension. Role playing, on the other hand, places students in simulated real life scenarios where they must adapt their language use to fit different roles and contexts. Whether it is ordering food in a restaurant, resolving a conflict, or presenting an idea, role playing gives students the chance to develop the adaptability and also confidence needed for effective communication in diverse situations. However, as impactful as these approaches are, they come with their own set of challenges, particularly when it comes to assessment. Traditional assessment methods often focus on measuring discrete language skills, such as grammar accuracy or vocabulary recall, and may not fully capture the holistic progress students make through storytelling and role playing. For instance, students' ability to integrate their first language into their learning or the cognitive gains they achieve through these activities might go unrecognized. These aspects, while crucial to bilingual and multilingual development, are difficult to quantify through conventional tests. To address this, it is essential for educators to rethink assessment practices. Therefore, in conclusion, while storytelling and role playing excel at creating meaningful and also natural language experiences, their success actually mainly depends on the ability of the educators to assess them effectively. By adopting more inclusive and also innovative evaluation methods, teachers can ensure that all the benefits of these activities, ranging from fluency and confidence to cognitive and cross linguistic development, are being accurately recognized and supported. So we have come to the conclusions of this case study report. In conclusion, this report has highlighted the essential role of TAS from three ESL related courses, which are TSLB 3493, TSLB 3303, and also TSLB 3282, in fostering bilingualism and also multilingualism within Malaysian primary schools. These courses emphasize the use of creative and meaningful methods such as songs, rhymes, storytelling, role playing, and culturally embedded lessons to enhance English language learning. By integrating these dynamic approaches, educators are able to promote not only English language proficiency, but also respect and appreciation for students' native languages, creating a more inclusive and culturally responsive learning environment for all of the students. The methods presented in these courses go beyond conventional language teaching, and they incorporate the students' existing linguistic and cultural knowledge, emphasizing cross linguistic transfer and also encouraging learners to make connections between their first language and also the second language, which is in this case English. For instance, storytelling allows students to draw on personal experiences, linking their linguistic and cultural identities to the learning process. Similarly, role playing immerses students in simulated real-world situations, enabling them to practice language use in authentic and meaningful contexts. Songs and rhymes, on the other hand, engage learners emotionally and cognitively, making language acquisition enjoyable and also memorable. Together, these methods strengthen bilingual abilities while celebrating the rich linguistic diversity found in Malaysian classrooms. Importantly, these activities also address the broader goals of education, fostering cultural awareness and genuine communication skills. By reflecting local cultures in lessons and encouraging translanguaging practices, they create opportunities for students to explore and embrace their multilingual identities. The focus on integrating the first language and also the second language ensures that students are not learning only English but also reinforcing their native languages, preventing the erosion of their linguistic heritage. However, to ensure the long-term success of these approaches, some key recommendations are worth emphasizing. Ultimately, this report underscores the importance of leveraging creative teaching methods from ESL related courses to cultivate bilingualism and also multilingualism. By valuing both English and native languages, these strategies support not only language development but also the preservation of cultural and linguistic diversity. They prepare students to thrive in multilingual, multicultural world while honoring their linguistic heritage. We have come to the very last part of the presentation for today, which are the recommendations for this case study report. So, to maximize the benefits of tasks designed to foster bilingualism and multilingualism, several key recommendations are proposed. These recommendations aim to enhance the effectiveness of such activities while addressing the unique needs of learners and educators in Malaysia's multilingual educational context. Firstly, teachers should integrate more authentic and culturally relevant materials into their lessons. By doing so, they provide students with opportunities to link language learning to their own experiences and the culture that surrounds them. Authentic materials such as local folk tales, traditional songs, or real life scenarios make lessons more relatable and meaningful for students. When learners engage with content that reflects their cultural heritage and lived realities, they are more likely to feel motivated and emotionally connected to the learning process. Moreover, such materials can help bridge the gap between students' first language and then the second language, making it easier for them to draw comparisons, recognize patterns, and build on their existing linguistic knowledge. Secondly, professional development for teachers in bilingual and multilingual teaching methods is crucial. Why? Because educators play a pivotal role in implementing these tasks effectively, and proper training equips them with the necessary tools and strategies. Such training should focus on helping teachers design intentional tasks that leverage students' full linguistic repertoire. For instance, teachers can learn how to incorporate translanguaging techniques, where students are encouraged to fluidly fluidly use both their first language and second language in the classroom to enhance understanding and expression. Additionally, training can address the diverse linguistic needs of students, equipping educators to support learners from various backgrounds while maintaining an inclusive and equitable classroom environment. Lastly, innovative assessment tools that recognize multilingual achievement uh, are necessary. Traditional assessments methods often prioritize accuracy in a single language, overlooking the broader cognitive and linguistic skills that multilingual students develop. For this reason, it is important to design tools that reflect their overall progress of learners, including their ability to use both their first language and English effectively. For example, assessments can evaluate students' ability to navigate between languages, articulate ideas across linguistic boundaries, and demonstrate cultural understanding. Performance based assessments such as portfolios, peer evaluations, and project presentations can offer a more comprehensive view of students' bilingual or multilingual capabilities. This tool not only provide a clearer picture of learners' progress, but also affirm the value of their linguistic diversity. By implementing all of these recommendations, educators can create inclusive and effective learning environment that truly foster bilingualism and also multilingualism. These approaches not only support the development of English language skills, but also preserve and celebrate the linguistic heritage of students. In doing so, Malaysia's multilingual educational landscape is enriched, ensuring that students are equipped to navigate and thrive in a world that increasingly values linguistic and also cultural diversity. Here is the bibliography or references that I have used in creating my presentation for today and also in creating my case study report for task 1. That's all from me. Thank you for watching.